Hey guys, so ahead of our Monday live stream where we're going over various soccer items, Premier League, MLS, FIFA, that sort of thing, I figured we'd get into the soccer mood today by doing a quick live stream going over all of the World Cup kits from this last year's 2022 World Cup in Qatar, with all 32 teams having two different kits, a home and an away version. That leaves 64 items for us to go to. Now, I'm using an already pre-made tier list. So we only have 5 tiers here. I do like doing the 6th thing where we can go all the way from S tier down to F tier. But this makes it easy because all of these pictures are perfectly formatted for what we need to do. So let's just get straight into it here. We'll start in alphabetical order, going all the way from Argentina down to Wales, doing both the home and away. So stick around if you like what you see. Feel free to subscribe, like, share the channel, whatever you like. If you're new to the channel, we do weekly live streams on a number of different items. Like I said, this week we're talking about soccer. So let's get started. Argentina's home kit has not really changed a whole lot in its entire history, really. It's always kind of had the same light blue stripes. Here, I'll scroll up so you can see it. My face is probably blocking it. But it's always had this light blue and white striped pattern. The only difference that they've done this past year is they've added black piping and stripes to the shoulders and sleeves. I do think that takes away slightly. I think they'd look better if they A, weren't there, or B, were part of that light blue. I think the black adds an element that doesn't quite fit with the rest of the uniform. But this is kind of a timeless kit. I'm going to put it still in great. And then we move on to their away kit. Now I'm gonna pull up kind of an explanation website here so we can get a better view of what this kit is. So if we go all the way back up to the top here, Argentina. This one you can see it's purple. It's a little off colored in this side here. It's more of a bluish purple. It's got some interesting pattern choices that I can't quite see. Lavender colorway, fight for gender equality, national flag, fiery graphic in reference to the national flag's famous son of May. So, I don't hate it. I don't love the colors necessarily. Nothing about that necessarily screams Argentina to me. But it looks kind of cool, especially this flame pattern at the bottom. I'm going to put it in this mid-good tier here. Computer's a little slow. We'll move on to Australia. And if you can see my screen here, the Australian gold and green is very similar to the Brazil gold and green. But it's just darker to the point where it stands out. Australia likes to use that gold and green pattern just because it makes it unique from their typical kind of Union Jack style flag. New Zealand, Fiji, all those other island countries that have the British Union Jack up in the canton. So I like that they've gone with kind of their typical gold and green here. Like I said, though, it doesn't really stand out against something like Brazil. I'm going to put this in good tier, but I'm going to put it below what we have Argentina at. And then their away kit has these cool colors, and it's supposed to represent like the marine life that surrounds the continent of Australia, like the Great Barrier Reef and that sort of thing. So it's got this dark navy pattern with kind of an aquamarine turquoise accentuation. But I don't love this collar pattern. It kind of looks like they're wearing a bib. And you notice that the only other uniform to have that, I believe, is the United States home one. And we're going to ding the United States for that one as well. But I like the colors, but because of that bib collar, I have to put it pretty low on this list. Moving on to Belgium. Belgium's always had some pretty good uniforms. The Red Devils, this one I'll pull up here. If it'll load. It's the typical red uniform with the black sleeves, but this time they've added some red piping at the top, which I like. And then they've added this really kind of unique flame pattern on the sleeves. which just kind of adds to that Red Devil effect. I really like it. Although I will say when I was watching it on screen, I didn't like it as much as their usual uniforms. So I think it deserves to stay up high. It's either low great tier or really high good tier. And I'm going to put it at the bottom of great tier there. Belgium's away kits are pretty standard, boring, straightforward. You have these non-matching sleeve patterns to go with this vibrant multicolored trim. They don't really give any details on the meaning behind that necessarily. I don't love that it doesn't match. I like that they added that pattern into the graphics, so that bumps it up for me. And it's not just a straightforward white uniform. So I'll put it at the top of all right there. Brazil is kind of timeless. I'm tempted to put this in goated, and I actually will put it in goated. It's hard to beat Brazil's classic gold and green uniforms, especially with like the schoolboy collar they have going on. I do apologize. My nose is a little stuffy. I started to catch a cold after recording on my other channel my Harry Potter audiobooks that I now have to re-record because my mic kept cutting out. So anyways, moving on to Brazil's away kit. And I really do like this Brazil away kit. You'll see here it's kind of this purplish blue indigo. But then it's got this like greenish teal jaguar pattern on the sides. I really like animal patterns. I can't remember if it was in Russia or what was the one before that? Brazil. That Cameroon had like this elephant pattern going on in the middle. I really like animal type patterns. I think this looks really nice. I wouldn't call it a timeless classic necessarily, but I think this is one of the better designed non-traditional kits, and I'm going to put this in great above Belgium. Moving on, I believe next we have Cameroon. Cameroon has a history of really nice uniforms. However, I wasn't super impressed this year. I do like kind of this rib cage pattern they have coming down from the top. But I think there's more that could have been done with it. It's a little bland for, I think, what they were planning on going for. And then they copied it on the away one. I think it looks worse on the away one. Almost like they're wearing a vest. So I'll keep this kind of mid-tier, both of them. And actually, on this tier list, they have a completely different uniform for their away kit. So, just for the future reference, what I'm going to do here is this yellow uniform that's showing up, I am going to rank that and actually this might be true for a lot of these other kits too. I'm just looking. Denmark. Oh no, that's Ecuador. Okay. If we do come across a uniform that is not correct, what we will do is use the correct version as what we're ranking and just use these pictures as a placeholder. So, ignoring this yellow uniform here, the actual green uniform they went with, I am going to put this top of all right. I think it's got enough going on where it's not as boring as these other two, whereas the green one is going to go after Australia in the good tier. Okay, moving on to Canada. Canada had fairly boring uniforms last World Cup, especially when we get to their white one. White one is going absolute bottom tier. But in terms of their red uniform, I like these shoulder patterns. It doesn't really say what they represent, but it gives it just a slight amount of character to keep it from being just a plain red uniform. It's still pretty bland, so I'm going to put this exactly where we put the last one, just slightly above it. I think the red is bold enough where it can stand on its own. However, what you'll notice in my ranking of all of these plain white uniforms is they are going all the way to the bottom tier. There's a bunch of them like that. When we get to Denmark, you'll see how bad that one is. in a cool way, but it is really not well designed. Anyways, moving from Canada all the way down to Croatia. Croatia uses the pattern. Oh, and actually, this is not alphabetical on this list. Let's skip to Costa Rica just because that is alphabetical. So we'll start with their home kit, which is the red and blue here. Nothing crazy stands out about this one. It's got a good color scheme. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with the red and blue, especially in a country like Costa Rica. I like the armbands. I like how large those are and that they stand out like that. But there's nothing crazy about these uniforms. They do look fairly clean. So I am going to put that. I'm going to put it above Australia, but not quite to Argentina's. I do really like that Argentina flame pattern at the bottom. Their away uniforms almost look like England. I like that they kept the thick blue stripe, but nothing else really stands out about these. So let's knock it down a few places from where their home kit is. I'm going to put it in all right. I'll put it at the top of all right. It's still a decent looking uniform. Now we move on to Croatia, I believe. Alphabetically. They keep the checkerboard pattern from their flag and from the football organizational crest. It looks slightly tacky, but it's bold, and I like that they went for it. It's not spectacular. I think the uniform would look better if the entire thing was checkerboard. I understand why they didn't, though. Yeah, I'll put it below. Costa Rica's is pretty clean. However, in keeping the checkerboard pattern and putting it on a different color scheme, I think this one looks a lot better. Black and blue. I like that they have these red accents here, the Nike swoosh logo. I think this is a decent looking uniform. I will put this one above Canada but below Australia in the good tier. Okay, moving on to Denmark. Denmark's are kind of egregious, and I'll tell you why. I commend them for sticking with the single color scheme, right? So all of the accents and patches and place markers in this uniform are one single color. You can see here, it's got the Danish football. I can't remember what exactly that stands for, but it's essentially their organization for soccer in Denmark. That patch is also all red. All of the accents, all of the chevron patterns up top, all of those are red. I don't think it stands out very well. It looks pretty bold on screen, but they do the same thing with a white uniform too, and it actually looks fairly cool. But if you didn't know that the accents were on that uniform, really bland, nothing to it. On screen, it literally looks like they're wearing red t-shirts and white t-shirts. So white is going all the way at the bottom. And this red, oh, I'm tempted to not put it there, but I think it has to. I think it's bland enough where it has to go top of the bottom tier. Okay, moving on to the E's. Now we're in Ecuador. Ecuador. This is pretty traditional South American color scheme. I like the different graphics they have on there, but you don't really see them. It's a pretty mid-tier uniform in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of the color yellow, but obviously in a country where the majority of their flag is the color yellow, you're going to use it. It's a decent looking uniform. It's nothing spectacular to me. I'll put it mid-tier. Let's put it right after where we put Croatia. Excuse me. Their visitors kit. I like this one a lot better. I like this print pattern design. blue geometric. It doesn't say anything specific about that pattern. I like that instead of having like yellow or red as the accent colors, they went with this light silvery metallic white kind of thing. I think that's actually a really good looking uniform. I am going to put that above Costa Rica. I really do like Ecuador's away kit. It is going to be a task for me when we go back through these to try to remember which one is which off the top of my head. Moving on to England. So England with their uniforms this year have this really unique gradient pattern coming up top. I don't hate them actually. I thought they looked really good on screen. I think it's a pretty mid-tier B uniform. I'll put it above. No, I'll put it above Australia there. Their visitors kits. How do I feel about them? Because it's kind of the traditional English schoolboy red uniform. I like that they went with this unique light blue pattern. Or not pattern, sorry. This light blue color scheme on the badge and the logo just to make it pop out. Reinvented color. How do I feel about it though? Because obviously this is going to be objectively true wherever I place these. So I am going to put this above Ecuador. France, Le Corps. France is pretty straightforward, but I do really like it. This is one of those simple designs that I think works really well. I think the gold coloring, being the defending world champions, really stood out. It's just straight blue, nothing spectacular about it. It looks really good with the white shorts. This one for me is above England, and I'm tempted to put it above Costa Rica, and I'm going to. Their white uniforms have this really cool under pattern. Excuse me. Most remarkable graphic print. Iconic moments and landmarks associated with France. See, this is really cool because this takes a white uniform that would traditionally be just kind of plain white, and it adds like a significant amount of small details that you wouldn't necessarily see on screen. So it still looks fresh on screen and not too busy. But when you take it off, it looks really sharp. This is a higher ranked white one for me. I'm going to put it above England's reds. Germany. Germany's always gone for a white and black pattern. And I was really skeptical about this center black stripe. I like kind of the plain whites that they usually have. Those look really clean. However, these have grown on me and they looked really good during the matches when I was watching. I like that they have the crest just stamped right in the middle. Everything is really centralized and bold. I really like these. Wrong app. I am going to put Germany's home kits. Do I put them above? No, I can't put them above Argentina, but I can put them right next to Argentina. Their visitors kits are kind of this. If you're into Star Wars, it's kind of like a Mustafar pattern. It's got this lava-looking maroonish red and black. It looks really good. I think the numbering and logos would look better with white instead of gold. But all in all, not a bad uniform. I'm going to put this right after Ecuador. I'm going to put it above France, actually. All right, now we move on to Ghana. I am not a fan of Ghana's uniforms. This one, really plain, and does kind of the bare minimum worst of adding details to make it not a boring white uniform. They add the black star, but they put it in a place that I'm not a big fan of. I wish the star would have been lower, maybe even with some numbers around it. I think that one is really bland. I will put it up. I'm going to put it after Denmark. I actually don't like it as much as Denmark's plain red, and that's kind of saying something. And then all of these other Puma uniforms, right, that have this bizarre... This is actually one of the better ones that they have, but for all of Puma's uniforms this year, they added this bizarre chest crest right in the middle with huge numbers, and I'm not a big fan of it. It looks the best probably on the Ghana uniform. I like the red. This is not an F tier uniform for me, but it is definitely D tier. I'll put it... Oh gosh, who is that? Is that Belgium's backup? I'll put it above... No, because this is a placeholder. I got to remember. This is going to keep climbing, actually. I am going to put this above Costa Rica. And then we move on to Iran. So you'll see here, this kit is also different from the kit picture that we have. So we will be using the actual kits. So for a plain white uniform, what they've done with these leopard stripes up top makes it stand out, and I do really like it. And I like that they also have these added on the red uniform. I don't think it looks as good on the red as it does on the white, so the white is actually going to be ranked higher for me. So we'll put the white... it's not as good as France. I'm going to put it above Ecuador. And then the red ones, I'll put below Canada. I don't think it looks as... The leopard spots look as good as just the plain red that Canada has going on there. Japan has really nice uniforms, in my opinion. And when I say Japan, I do mean Japan. Okay. For a second, I thought I had skipped something and we were actually going straight to Korea. But I like Japan. It's got this like very technology kind of 90s retro video game aesthetic thing going on. I like the triangle pattern they have going on the home kit. And then on this away kit, they have kind of this artificial 3D like blue and red alternating graphic up top that I think adds just that little bit more to what's essentially a plain white and black uniform. So the whites are mid-tier for me. They are going to go... They are better than Iran. They are better than France's. I'm going to put them that high. Whereas their home uniforms, are they better than Argentina? I wouldn't call them great necessarily. I don't think they're up that high, but I will put them the top of the good tier. And then we move then to... Are we already at Mexico? We are already at Mexico. Okay. Their home... We'll talk about the home uniform first. Mexico's graphic design this year was phenomenal. I really do like this triangle pattern. I like the red stripes up top. This, for me, is going to go above England, above Costa Rica, above France, above Germany. I will put it right there. But we need to talk about their away kits because they have probably the best away kits in this entire tournament. Look at that pattern. Oh my gosh. They took a white uniform and they added all of the red, maroon they could in all of these really cool Aztec type calendar patterns. The Quetzalcoatl serpent body, that like everything about this uniform screams Mexican history to me, and I absolutely love it. Um, for what they did with two colors, it looks phenomenal. So I am going to put this probably in the goated tier. I really like this uniform. Yes. Moving on to Portugal. No, alphabetically, I think we're at the Netherlands next. So let's do Netherlands first, or whichever one that pops up first, as soon as my web page will load here. Morocco, actually, we're still in the M's. So I was wrong. That is the correct uniform coming next. So Morocco, obviously they had kind of the Cinderella run of this tournament. How do I feel about these? I don't love that the stripe is interrupted by the Puma logo. I think it would look better as a full stripe. I like their away uniforms a lot better. It's got that middle Puma crest. I lied to you. This is probably the best looking of all of those. I like their white uniforms significantly better than their red. So let's put white. It's not as good as France. I'll put it above Iran, which means that Morocco, their home, has to go. You know what? I will put it above Canada. It's not that bad. It just looks a little tacky. That middle tier is getting kind of packed. All right, moving on to the Netherlands. I love their usual orange jerseys. I don't think these ones look as good. They've kind of lightened this orange to the point where it almost looks yellow. And they have this velvety pattern that I don't love on a soccer uniform. And then I know they always kind of accent it with black, but I think it would look better with like a navy blue. I like their... Oh, here's another one of those weird collars. I like this uniform a lot better, except for the collar. It just looks really tacky to me, and I'm not sure exactly what the thought process was behind that design. So Netherlands, I usually really like their uniforms. These are going pretty low, in my opinion. I'm going to put this one at the top of the all right kind of D tier. And then this blue one... Yeah, because that's placeholder. Yeah, no. I don't like it as much as Australia. I think the Australian colors look better, especially with that black collar they have going on there. Moving on to Polska, Poland. Robert Lewandowski is wearing this white uniform. So I usually like when they offset just a plain white uniform with shoulder patterns. However, what are they going for here? Striped, depict the nest and feathers of a white eagle. See, I don't get that. I see more of like a shattered glass thing. And I don't love the way it looks. I almost think the stripes are too dark. Is that hypocritical for what I've previously been saying? I don't know. I think the crest is also a little too big and in a weird spot for where they've added these shoulder stripes. So I don't love it. The red looks clean. I really do like the red. I like the double stripe pattern. That looks really professional for me. I like that the crest is big there because it fits without shoulder patterns. So the red is going to go up pretty high. I'm going to put it above Germany. And I'm going to put the whites above Croatia. Excuse me. Portugal. Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo. I like the weird diagonal stripe. I like that the accent is yellow. I almost wonder if it would look better white instead of gold. Golden logos remain in place. I do miss Portugal having kind of the teal that they usually do. But it's not horrible. Their away kits, I like that it's cream colored, and I like that they went with kind of this uneven flag pattern to kind of represent how the two different sides of the Portuguese flag aren't even. However, I don't think it looks that good as a stripe. These are not great in my opinion. This one, I'll put this one top of all right. And I am going to put where am I going to put their secondary one? They're pretty even in my opinion. I will put it. I actually like it better than the Netherlands. So should I reconsider this one? Or is this one even better? No, I think they're fine side by side. That's all right. Okay, after Portugal is Qatar. Duh. It's weird having a country with the letter Q to start. Qatar's uniforms. I like their color scheme. I think the flag of Qatar has a great color scheme. I like that they went for the flag, kind of the triangle pattern on the sleeves. I don't love the crest and the logo being centered like that. I wish they would have gone for something more like their away uniform in that sense. I really like this desert kind of stain pattern that they have going on the away kit. I think that looks really unique. I'm sure some people don't like it because it almost looks dirty, but I think it looks really unique and a great experiment in a fashion type sense. Where are we going to put these? I like the white one better than the red one actually, and I think they're both going to go pretty high. Do I like it better than England? Yes. Do I like it better than Croatia? Or not Croatia, excuse me, Costa Rica. Yes, but I don't like it as much as France. Their red kits will go right above England there. So England is kind of getting shafted on both ends there. Moving on to Saudi Arabia. They had really good uniforms. Really good uniforms this year. I love this white and green with kind of the palm designs over the top of it. They have one of the better looking crests of any football organization. And these ones are just so bold. I love it. All over leaf print. This just looks like it'd be really comfy to wear. And I know that's not really a criteria for ranking uniforms, but 1 second. Excuse me. One more time. I think these look really good, and I'm actually going to put the green one up in great tier. Ooh, but I didn't put Japan up there. Is it better than Japan? Ooh, it's not. And it's not better than Argentina, so I have to put it there. Shoot. You know what? I'm going to reconsider because of how full this is, and I think this qualifies as great. I don't think these ones qualify as great. But this white one is going to go above Germany. Right there. Right there. Let it drop. Let it go. Please load. Okay. Regardless of whether it loads or not. Hello? No, that's not where I wanted to put it. That's not where I want to put it. No, I want it right there. Thank you. Okay. Moving on now to, is that Senegal? Senegal is one of those Puma uniforms that has that really bad crest in the middle, and this one does not look good. So we move on from Saudi Arabia, and here is their home kit. Really bright. You got the Pan-African colors. Just this looks better than Ghana in my opinion because the star is smaller. It's got enough going on around it where it's not as boring. And this I really want to like. I like this darkened green stripe down the center, but this crest just pulls it that much further down for me. I just don't care for it. Both of these are going to stay pretty low. However, this one is going to go above Poland, and this one is going to go above Ghana. All right. Serbia. Republika Serbia. I like that they've gone with gold accents here. I think it looks really unique. I think it adds just that much different character compared to a lot of teams have red and white. I like that Serbia has kind of gone for this differing color scheme by adding the gold. I'm going to put this one low good tier. It's got to go above Canada. Is it as good as Ecuador? I'll put it below Ecuador. But then, because it's a Puma uniform, of course, their away uniforms have to have this massive crest. And you know how much I love this massive crest. I think it just looks tacky, especially with the blue colors, or the blue numbers, excuse me. I don't love that uniform at all. But it's better than the bib, but just barely. Okay, that moves us alphabetically to, I believe, South Korea. We are kind of cruising through this thing. I'm really happy with how fast this stream is going. South Korea home kit. This is just bright red. It's got these tiger stripes going on up top. Homage to the Red Devils nickname. They're called the Red Devils too. Interesting. How do I feel about their away kits? It's bold enough where I kind of actually like it. It's not spectacular, but it's something new. I don't love that it's just red and black. I wish there was something lighter in this uniform if it were white. If they kept the black trim, but then had like the Nike swoosh and the crest white, I think it would look better. So I don't love it necessarily. I will put it above the Netherlands. And then this away kit, I'm going to put above England's aways. And that moves us to, I believe, Spain. Reina de España. So we move down to España. Spain has always kind of had the same uniforms, and I don't think that's a bad thing. For me, as an American soccer fan, it really just screams Real Salt Lake. Because it's the exact same color scheme. But they do look decent. I don't have anything negative necessarily to say about this uniform. I think it's a pretty straightforward Spanish uniform. It's going in mid-tier, but I will put it France, because I do like it better than Qatar. Yeah, it'll go right there. But then their aways are really interesting. It's got this weird like 90s wave pattern to me. Or even it might be earlier than 90s. It's got this bizarre textured pattern. And I don't love it. And it looks kind of bizarre with these red and gold stripes on the shoulders. I don't know. Art Deco ugh. I don't think I agree with that being called Art Deco, but sure, whatever you like. Yeah, these are not good in my opinion. I don't love it. Don't love it very much at all. Actually, that logo screams 1972 Munich Olympics to me. And these are going right there. I like them better than Serbia, just because I don't like that crest. Okay, Switzerland. Das Schweizer. They're pretty plain, but they added enough to it where it's not egregiously bad. It's better than Denmark's for sure, and they have the same color scheme. I like that they have this non-size specific stripe thing going on up top. Their aways suck. This might be the most egregious of the Puma crests because to me when I see that, I see a big sticker in the middle that says, "Hi, my name is number 10." Hi, my name is number 10. That's exactly what this says to me. Nothing about this says Switzerland except the little cross. And they tried to offset it with these little gray stripes in the middle, and I think it almost makes it look worse. These are really bad and are actually going to go in F tier. They're worse than Canada. These are the worst uniforms. Are they the worst uniforms? Denmark's are just plain white. Yeah, these are the worst uniforms. Sorry, Switzerland. I do love Switzerland as a country, but those uniforms are bad. Really bad. However, their home ones are just all right. Are they better than Poland? I took the walk to Portugal because I got that country's name wrong. We'll bisect Portugal here. We'll put them above the away crests just because I do like that white stripe pattern. Moving on now to Tunisia. The only of the T's. Home kit. That's kind of a cool pattern, but I can't quite tell what it is. The Armor of Hannibal. I'm looking for elephants. I don't see any elephants. It's all right. The thing about this pattern here is it looks like it didn't print properly, and it's kind of faded and not in a cool looking way. I think it would look better if it was darker or a little bolder on it. I don't love just the plain white stripes on the shoulders without having a white stripe around the neck. These are pretty mid-tier in my opinion. I like these ones more. I still am bummed out that this red isn't on the collar, but these ones look better. So whites are going to go in the mid, and I'm going to put them right below Serbia. And these ones are going to go above Korea. Uruguay. Another Puma kit. Oh, this one's going straight to the United States. Okay. These ones don't look horrible if you ignore the bib. I don't love that the crest is just straight in the center on the chest. But it's that bib pattern that just makes it so tacky. So these ones, I think they're the best looking of all of the bib uniforms. And I think they look better than Serbia. And I think they look better than Spain. But that's as high as I can put them. However, the away kits look significantly better. I really like the fact that they went with kind of a graphic pattern here. I think it looks a lot better. I think the crest looks a lot better just with the colors, the way it stands out on the chest. I do really like these ones. I think they could potentially be high mid-tier. Let's see where I want to put them. I will put them above England and Costa Rica. I like them better than France. I like them better than Germany. I think that's as high as I can put them. So I'll put them right between Saudi Arabia and Germany. Now we move on to Uruguay. We have 4 left. We are cruising through this thing. Uruguay has always had kind of the same schoolboy blue, white stripe outfits. I think this is an all-time classic. There's not much I would change about this at all because it's very timeless. It harkens back to the original World Cup. So these ones are going to go actually above. I'm going to put these ones above Argentina, in my opinion. I like them better than Argentina's. However, it's a Puma kit, which means, boom, middle crest. What do I think about the stripe pattern? With a central box, which will house squad numbers. Yeah, don't love it. I actually do really like the striping on this uniform, and I like the center, like, faded blue stripes. However, the number looks bad. So, it's better than the United States. It's better than Iran's green ones. It's better than Croatia. It's better than Poland. And I think that's as high as I can put it. Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay. And then last but not least, Wales. We have the Welsh kit now. I really like these. I think Wales has a super underrated color scheme. I think the dragon crest looks really good on these ones. It stands out significantly. I like the lightning stripe graphic they have going on to offset the red. I like the shoulder stripes. I think this looks really good. This is, let me compare it to the other ones, but this one might be above the middle tier. It is. I'm going to put this one. Ooh, hot take. I'm putting it above Belgium. I really like Wales's red uniforms. And last but not least, the Wales white uniforms. Ooh, don't care for that very much. I forgot about that neckline, and I really don't like these back stripes. It was worth a try, but everything about this to me screams Italy. Nothing about the red and white that I like about the home uniforms stands out in this. It just really looks kind of like a plain, some kind of European uniform that doesn't really stand out spectacularly. I think it looks really tacky. And it is going... You know what? I will put it above Senegal. Nah, I can't put it above Costa Rica. So I will put it below Costa Rica. All right, so there we have it. All 64 uniforms for the 2022 Qatar World Cup ranked. From the bottom to the top, in D tier, or in, I guess, F tier, the Fire the Designer tier. from bottom to top, we have Switzerland's aways, Denmark's aways, Canada's aways, Ghana's homes, and Denmark's homes. So Denmark has the worst uniform set of any team. Moving up to the all right category, from bottom to top, we have... who was that? That is the Netherlands away, Australia's away, Serbia's away, Spain's away, US home, Belgium away, Iran away, nice, Croatia home, Poland away. Nope, not answering that right now. Let's see here. Yes, that is Uruguay's away. Cameroon's home, right? Or is that... No, that's going to be Senegal's away. Sorry. Wales away. Costa Rica away. Ghana away. Senegal home. Netherlands home. Korea home. Tunisia home. Portugal away. Switzerland home. Portugal home. And then we move up to kind of the mid-good tier, like acceptable tier. We have Cameroon. I can't remember if that's their home or away, but that'll be the Cameroon green uniform. Iran home. Nice. Canada home. Which one was that? Oh, they're making me look these back up. I said I didn't want to do that. Because we weren't at Portugal yet. This uniform was... Don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Do not tell me. I think we've probably already passed it. However... okay. Someone in the comments remind me which country that one is right there. This one, I believe, is Poland's away. Serbia home. Ecuador home. Obviously, I'm losing track because that can't both be Iran. So, let's just skip all of these middle ones because I'm going to have the toughest time remembering who is whom. But in our great tier, from bottom to top, we have Japan, Belgium, Wales, Brazil's away, Germany's home, Argentina's home, Uruguay's home, and then in the goated tier, we have Mexico's away and Brazil's home uniforms. Kind of the all-time classic great. So, with that being said, we have ranked all 64 kits. Please stay tuned for Monday's live stream. We're going to talk all about the latest around the world happening to do with all different types of soccer leagues. Like I said, Premier League, MLS, even Canadian Premier League, but then also obviously Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, League One, all soccer and football news from around the world. Talking about repercussions from the World Cup and what to expect going forward into the 2026 World Cup when it comes to North America. But thank you very much for sticking around. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon.